show a man that you're a great catch, and having this be like the undercurrent of every single interaction with him. Of course, when you show up, you want to, be your best self in life. But when you're doing things like trying to make a man jealous or subtly hinting that there's other men interested in you or anything like that, where you're just like constantly trying to show him your value, you've already kind of lost value, right? That actually decreases your value in a man's eyes, because the truth is a high value woman doesn't need to do or say anything to convey or demonstrate her value to a man. He's going to see it and know who you are and be interested, and he's going to want to pursue you. Right? I mean, that's certainly been my experience, my opinion, and what I hear from all the amazing women in my community. You don't have to really do a lot of things to try to constantly show him you're a great catch and show him how great the two of you would be together, and tell him how amazing, what a great girlfriend or wife you would be, or how beautiful your kids would be together, right? So, Matt, what do you have to say on this? Trying to show a man constantly that you're a great catch.
Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at it and you're like, okay, well, how does he know that I'm valuable if I don't show him that I'm valuable, right? And it's actually like, if you think about people who are like high value people, like high status people, celebrities, people like that, right? Like wealthy business owners and stuff like that. They aren't out there, most of them aren't out there trying to prove to people that they're valuable. If somebody comes along, that person that's coming along has to prove themselves in order to get to the person. But the person that's valuable is like, you have to prove to me that I should meet with you. You have to prove to me that I should spend some of my incredibly valuable time hanging out with you, right? That's what a high value person does, is they have people come to them. Those people have to get through gatekeepers, and then they have to prove that it's worth that high value person's time in order to be with them, right? And so it's kind of a counterintuitive thing, right? If you start trying to prove your value, that's the only person that tries to prove their value is somebody who doesn't believe that they're valuable, right? If you believe that you're valuable, you don't try to prove anything to anybody, because you don't feel like you have to, because you already know that you're valuable. And people that are like high value people that believe that they're valuable, there's like this recognition when they meet each other, right? Because they don't try to prove their value to each other, right? They just talk in certain ways and they interact with each other in certain ways. And what happens is that when they're interacting with each other, they're like, oh, you're one of me, right? You're one of us. You're one of these high value people, right? We can hang out with each other, right? Whereas if you're a celebrity, right, and somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh my gosh, Helena Hart, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm seeing you right now. You're the most amazing person ever, right? What they're communicating to you is, you're really amazing and really valuable. I'm this peon that, isn't nearly as valuable as you are. Please grace me with your presence, right? Whereas if a celebrity meets another person and that person's just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Like, yeah, I think I've seen your show before or whatever, like, that's pretty cool. Like, I can really respect that. Right. All of a sudden, that's a completely different dynamic that's happening there, because it goes from this person that doesn't believe they're valuable and, acting like a stalker weirdo type of thing, to all of a sudden it's like, two people that are valuable people and respect each other have met, and we can talk on high value terms and realize that we're, not trying to compete for value. We can realize that we're not, that we're not one above the other. We're two human beings just hanging out, and we realize that we're two human beings just hanging out, instead of trying to, fight in the value landscape, right? And so it's, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's
absolutely,
like, you have to not try it. People that are valuable and believe that they're valuable don't try to prove their value to anybody. They don't try to show that they're a catch. They don't try to do any of that kind of stuff, right? Because they don't feel like they have to, and they don't have to.
Exactly. You just took the words right out of my mouth. That women and men too, who truly know their value, know they don't have to do or say anything to show a man how valuable they are. They're, he's just going to see that right away. And again, this is not about just being entitled and just being like, you need to prove yourself to me and treat me like a queen. And here's my list of requirements. Obviously, you need that softness and vulnerability. So it's not about being better than anyone, but you want to think of yourself as like, you are the star of your own movie, right? You're the star of your own life. You're not like just some fan trying to get into a man's movie, if that makes sense. I don't know why that analogy just came to me right now. You're not like trying to convince a guy or show him that you're worthy enough to be in his movie. You're the star of your own movie. If you treat a man like you're a fan of his and he's just energetically just puts you in this position below him. And we see this all the time in questions like, he pulled away. How do I get him back? What strategies can I use to try and, make him like me the way he used to? And it's like, you can just feel the energetic difference. Like he's up here, he's holding something that you want and he's not giving it to you. Like he's holding some key to your happiness. And so a woman who truly was confident and knew her value wouldn't have time for a man who was interested in other women or unsure of his feelings about her. She just would be on her path. And she'd be trusting that the right guy, if he's really for her, is going to want to jump on that path with her, right? And so I love what you said about two people who are comfortable with themselves and know their value. These things don't come into play, really, right? There isn't like, how do I show him that I'm valuable? You won't have to do that with the right person. And a lot of these go both ways too, right, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All of these go both ways, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. Like a lot of times, and I get this so much, it's ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. Because I do a lot of stuff on Facebook. And so we have women that'll come and they'll be like, well, what about what a guy has to do for me? And it's like, well, relationships are all both ways. I never, like, I know that we're giving advice to women about connecting with men and creating the relationships they want with men, but relationships always go both ways. Oh, yeah. And a man should be courting you. That's mm-hmm. literally what we're teaching, right? So if I'm saying, here's some compliments that you can use with a guy, right? It's not, oh, you have to, please the man and he should be on this pedestal and he doesn't have to do anything. That's not what I'm saying at all, mm-hmm. right? If you're with a man who isn't treating you right, who's not connecting with you, who's not complimenting you and loving you and doing great things with you and on a level of partnership, then why are you even with him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And why aren't you communicating what it is that you absolutely want? And why aren't you willing to put yourself in a position where you're willing to walk away if it's not going to be what you want?
Absolutely. Totally agree. 100%. I love everything you said.